Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to a new video. So this is part 2 of Crafty Christmas in July 2023. Hashtag to find all the videos on YouTube of everybody who's participating, and it's been organized by Lisa Paper, Lace and Bling and Teri from Sweet Pea Papers. Alright, so today we're gonna prepare the pages. I've prepared a little paper for me to remember the steps because there's quite a lot of steps in this kind of journal. So to remind you, we're doing a little canvas journal. I will put a link so that you can see the first and other canvas journal that I've ever made. First step is to prepare 10 pages. So I prepared a lot of envelopes because, as I've mentioned before, I really want something where you can put cards in. And I've got loads of cards. I really like this size. This is 26 something by 17.5 with 2 centimeter spine. And it's a pretty good size. If you want my opinion, I quite like it. So we're going to use this as the cover. I usually make my own covers, and I will change the spine if it's too small or too big or whatever, but I do like this size here. So we need envelopes that fit this, and we're going to cut them to size, and we need 25.3 centimeters. If you are working with envelopes like me, don't forget to add at least 1 centimeter extra to fold and glue your pockets. We're just going to close up the envelopes, making sure they are inside out, so only the white from the inside shows. My idea here is to attach 2 big envelopes to each other to create a full page, but this one is a bit too small, so let's just choose another one. Since the inside of this envelope is white, I chose to leave it the right side up. But if you want the inside of the envelope to be decorated, make sure you do it now. I kind of completely forgot, but I hope that's okay. So here we are now, just attaching one envelope to the other. Since it will be bound as a page in the middle will be attached and your cards won't be able to slide from one place to the other. So here we have one page. It's not amazing, but should get better as we decorate it. Now let's prepare the other ones. We can get multiple colors on multiple sizes as well. For this next part here, we're going to use a pocket that already has a window. So first we need to find a card that will fit in our window, because otherwise it's a bit useless. So let's just figure this out. Sadly, this little card here doesn't have a window that fits, so we're just going to make one right in the next section. Since the envelope is exactly the right size for the card, we don't need to alter it, so we're just going to glue it onto our page. So for that, we're going to close up the flap. It's a bit jagged, ragged, so I'm using sticky tape to make sure it's smooth enough to put the card in and that it doesn't get stuck. And then I'm just cutting up all the sides here that I'm just going to call flaps. And I'm just gluing this onto our page. Of course, I ran out of roll-on glue, so woohoo, stick it is. And that's done. For this next card here, which is really, really cute, I just found these 2 windows. This one is much better because the opening is a lot bigger. So you see the cute little card better, and it's more to my liking. So step 1, we're going to open up the envelope and turn it inside out. The card is a lot smaller than the envelope, so we're going to address that. So we're going to fold our envelope around our card so that we know the exact size of our card. Don't forget to leave 1 centimeter for the folds to be able to just glue it onto the page. This is the opening of the envelope, so we're going to secure it by folding down the flap and gluing it. Now let's just measure the last side of our pocket by folding it like we've done before, and then we're going to start cutting off the pocket with our scissors. Don't forget to leave 1 centimeter for the flap again on the sides so that we can glue this pocket to our page, because if you just cut it on the flaps, on the markings we've made right here, then you will just end up with a little piece of paper that you won't be able to do much about. So here I'm just cutting up the corners, and then we're just going to use our glue. You can use any glue you like. Yoo-hoo glue is not very strong, but it can be used, and since I'm going to cover it up anyways, I know it's going to get much stronger and it's going to be totally safe. So that's what I'm using right now, because I ran out of my roll-on stick and I can't figure out how to make my PVA work right now. And our packet is now ready to be decorated. Next idea, I want to use this huge window from a completely destroyed envelope. I really like this blue envelope as well. I think as a background it would be really pretty. So we're going to cut here, and as you notice, I have forgotten to cut off with the 1 centimeter flap that we've just talked about. So this is why I always keep repeating you not to forget the flap. It's because I tend to forget it. But it's okay, we can always find a solution. And my solution here is that it's a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna make a 0.5 centimeter flap. So I'm just figuring out here where to just fold the little flap. I'm doing a 5 millimeter little tiny little flap for chopping up the corners, just like before. And we're just going to glue it in place. Of course, the 5 millimeters is not ideal. I rather it was 1 centimeter, then I would have a lot more space to just glue it in place. But we work with what we have, right? And this is fine. So this looks really nice, and now it's just ready to be decorated. Yay! For this next part, we're going to add a window here. So we're going to use an envelope that already fits pretty well the card, so there's no modifications needed. I'm just going to open it up, and we're going to cut open that window. So we're going to measure how much we want. We want at least 1 centimeter, I would say, here at the bottom, and I've put 1.5 on the sides. So I'm just marking down where I want to cut my window, and then I will use either scissors or a thingy that cuts really well, and I'm just going to cut open the window. Here is another way to mark down where your window should be, and you just put it on one corner of your envelope and the other, and then you will have the minimal size for your window, and so that you don't see the back of the envelope when the card isn't there. In this next case, I found the perfect envelope for this beautiful card. And my idea was to make a window just to let the little girl peek out of our window. So we're going to have to figure out how to cut off the window. I first went to the window, my own window, to see if I could see through the card, but it didn't work. So I'm using here this piece of parchment paper to trace out and figure out the size that I need. And then I am just using my ruler to make sure it's the right size, and I'm just measuring out and cutting through the right size there. To create a new window, you can use any kind of material that's transparent. You can use this, which is from packaging, and you can also use tracing paper, you can use vellum, you can use acetate, really anything that's transparent you can use. In terms of glue, from experience, it's really difficult to glue plastic on paper, so I suggest you use a roll-on glue. You can also sew the plastic, it works really well. Then in terms of technique, I've tried a lot of things. This is my final suggestion. Just start really small. Start with one side, then you put glue on the other two sides, and finally the last side. This helps you to not make a mess, which happened to me pretty often during the creation of this journal. For instance, here I just glued all sides at the same time, and then I just put on my acetate paper, and of course there was a wrinkle. And it's not much, but I really don't like it when that happened. Another example of what can happen if you don't go a little bit slower. I'm really glad I was able to get it back, but this glue is so strong, honestly. So when I make a window, I don't want anything that comes in to just get stuck in here, so I'm putting a little bit of tape to secure it. I'm just making sure there's no glue poking out as well. I am also securing the top flap of our envelope because this is where we're going to grab our card from, and it needs to be quite strong. I'm an idiot. I really like the blue at the back, but that's what I got. I don't like this image so much, so I'm just gonna put it up. And now we're going to glue our envelope to the page. So for that we need to cut it up. So either you can just use it as an envelope and you just glue it straight onto your page, nothing to do. Or you can also just make a little pocket like you see on the video right here. And the idea here is to just cut up all the little flaps on the sides. Make sure you don't forget the 1 centimeter at the bottom, and your envelope is done. If you have a nice envelope and you just want to use it as such, then just close it up and use it. And let's not forget that we need an opening. So this is the part that we glue into the book because we need a place to attach it. And then we need to figure out which way we want to open it. And I'm thinking this is the best way. So I'm going to attach this together here. And close it up. It's pretty perfect. I'll put it inside so that I know this goes there. Now how about we use this nice little envelope. It's really fancy, it's got nice paper, so we can use it as a page. So we're just going to glue the envelope we've just made, and this is going to just be glued as a page. So we're just going to glue it together, make sure there's no air bubbles, and that's page number 2. And here is another way to use a fancy envelope. I really like this blue one, it fits perfectly on the page. I really like to use the light blue as a background, but I don't want to cut it open and risk just making a mess like we've done before in the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut a window into our page. The idea for this is just to be able to see the back of our envelope, and at the front of the page you will be able to have the envelope that just opens up like a normal envelope and you can put stuff inside. And on the other side of the page you will have a window that lets you see what's in the hidden pocket behind the envelope. So that's really cool. So how do we do this? We're going to measure out 2 centimeters off the sides of the page to make sure we have space to actually glue the envelope. Don't forget, I am using a roll-on glue because of the transparent plastic acetate window. So we do need space to put the glue. Then we're just going to mark down where we want to cut our window, and then we're going to use our scissors or any other item that you want to use and just cut the window off. While we're doing this, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like my channel and want to support my work with your likes. And that being said, how are you guys? Have you ever used as many envelopes in a journal? How did you use them? Are there any ways that I haven't mentioned in here that I would love to see? Don't forget to put a little comment down below if you have any other ideas. Don't hesitate also to link other tutorials if you want us to see other tutorials that you've seen that are really cool. And now it's time to put the acetate window here. So you've seen how much struggle this is. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to do the last method I mentioned. We're going to start with one side only, very simply, and then we're going to put glue on the other 2 sides and the bottom. And then we're just going to roll off our acetate or plastic paper or anything. And this way we're ensuring that there's no problems and everything works out. Now we're just going to cut off all the extra, remove any bits of glue if there are any. Don't forget to put a little bit of sticky tape at the top to secure our little window and make sure that our card doesn't get caught in it. And then we're going to glue our little envelope here. Of course, you need to make sure that the top bit stays without glue, otherwise you won't be able to put anything in our pocket. And of course I'm talking from experience because this has happened to me before. But here we are, our pocket is finally done. What do you think? Well, I am pretty happy with this idea. I finally got a nice little window with a blue background. Yay! Once all our envelopes are done, we can just make sure that we have the order right for all the pages and glue them, of course, onto our pages. Yeah, I really like this idea. So I'm gonna do that. But that means this can't be opened on this side, nor this side. I could do it like this, but I'm not a fan of these openings on the side here. I think they're always better on top. Well, I'm gonna just cut it on top here. Yeah, that's fine. So while I'm figuring out the order of my pages and where exactly I want my envelopes to go on in this junk journal, I want to thank you all for being here, for supporting me with your likes and your comments, and being always there with me. It's just having a blast. I can't wait to show you the part 2 where we're actually going to start decorating this journal. It's beautiful. I've already done quite a bit. I can't wait to show you, and I can't wait for you to see it and tell me how you like it and stuff. So don't forget to like and subscribe, push the bell button if you like what I do and you want to be notified of my next videos, and I will see you guys really soon in my next video. See you soon. Bye bye guys.